Hi, my name is Lisa Murphy, and today we are delivering a presentation of my workshop called Making Time for Books and Stories. And I put this workshop initially together because I started getting feedback from directors and school administrators that some of the teachers were saying, you know what, nobody's coming to circle time anymore. And I started thinking to myself, like, what do you mean nobody's coming to circle time? And one specific director actually asked me to come in and do an observation of one of her teachers doing a circle time. And this teacher had some comments and some concerns like, nobody's coming to group time, nobody's coming to group time. So I was like, okay, fine. You know, I'll go in and watch and maybe give some feedback and some input, and we'll go from there. So I went in and I watched this teacher do her circle time, and I know everybody who's watching is very familiar with this book. Everybody knows this book. And so I was standing in the back of her classroom, and I'm not even kidding you, this is how she read Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. Hey, sit down. Sit down. His mama called him Wild Thing. I'll show you the pictures when I'm done. And Max said, I'll eat you. And I was standing in the back of the room, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't probably go to her circle time either. I mean, I was thinking, you know, she's not even, you know, really reading the story, and she was just rushing through it really fast. She wasn't speaking up, she wasn't speaking down, and it didn't even really seem like she enjoyed reading the book. And that's one of my messages for you. You have to enjoy reading the books to the kids. I mean, if I was delivering a workshop presentation to you, and I stood up in front of you, and I was like, hi, my name is Lisa Murphy, and I'm going to talk to you all day about how to be more hands-on and play-based in the classroom, you'd probably leave too. And you probably wouldn't want to come. And that's probably my first bit out the gate, is to remind you that when you're reading the books to the kids, you have to be organically enthusiastic. Because there is also a difference, a big difference, between reading the way she was reading, and his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up, because that is bad. But this is just as bad. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. Because kids know that that is a bunch of BS. They can smell it a mile away. So you have to be organically enthusiastic. You have to enjoy reading the book. And if you are following along in your handout, the first thing on your handout is to vary the tone and to vary the speed and actually enjoy it while you're reading. Vivian Paley is an educator out of University of Chicago, and Vivian Paley tape recorded herself every day when she was in the classroom, and then she went back and she listened to it, and that is just fantastic. How could you not become better at what you do when you actually listen to how you're interacting with the children? So tape record yourself. If you are really, really ready to go back and think about doing circle time in a more appropriate fashion, have somebody record you, have somebody tape you, have somebody film you, and then go back and listen to it. And you will listen, and it'll be your own voice, and you'll see and hear, oh my gosh, you'll be like, I did not say that. And then you'll listen, and then you'll be like, oh my God, I said it again. Oh my gosh, I said it again. You know, I could stand in your classroom and I could do an observation, and I can tell you, you know what? It seems like you're running around all day saying Stephanie all the time. You know, why are you always yelling at Stephanie? But then you listen to your own words, and you're hearing your own self say, Stephanie, 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 Stephanie. And then you're like, wow, you know, I don't really know what's going on there, but maybe I need to think about what's coming out of my mouth. So the first, right out the gate on your handout is vary the tone, vary the speed, tape record yourself. You can make your own books on tape. My grandma, before she died, she actually tape recorded herself reading all of our favorite stories. And it was so neat to have that. One of the stories that she really enjoyed reading to us was called The Very Jolly Postman. And in it, the Very Jolly Postman is delivering the little letters to all of the different mailboxes. And my grandma would read all of the little letters. She would read them in a different accent. And we loved listening to this book, right? And so I would read The Very Jolly Postman to the kids in the class. And then I'd play the tape for them as well. And the kids saw that I was so excited. And they called it the grandma book. Read the grandma book. Read the grandma book. And that emotional attachment is so important. They knew that that was an important book to me, and we had it on tape. We heard my grandma have some of the kids' parents read books and capture that on tape. There is something, what's the word I'm looking for, very powerful about having one of those kids sit down with all of their peers and listen and be like, that's my daddy reading that.